It's crazy that there was a time this and this was out, but I was out here still playing this. It's not even that I didn't own a PlayStation 2, I just really like Punch-Out. I grew up playing a variety of consoles and handhelds, and it's strange because I grew up to be a very young person to become nostalgic for Super Nintendo games. You would expect some dude in like his 20s or 30s who grew up in the 90s to become nostalgic for that type of thing, but I was a kid half that age urging to play Super Mario Kart again. But because of that, I've learned to appreciate old games. Not that old. And still to this day, I'm willing to try out old games and find great new experiences, which is why I wanted to talk about games that greatly impacted my life so far. And maybe some of you guys might relate to the picks that I chose because I'm bringing up games from the Wii, PlayStation 2, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, Xbox 360, arcade games, DS, 3DS games, maybe sneak in some Flash games, PC games, and Dragon Ball Z Tiger Electronic game. Oh yeah, you know this list is gonna be huge.
Instinct.
Had to start off with a great fighting game, especially for its time. Get the fuck out of here, Street Fighter! I played Killer Instinct a shit ton as a kid and still do time to time. Learning to do those long ass combos was just fun and satisfying to pull off. And look at the cast of characters: Dinosaur, Skeleton Man, Generic Ninja, Fireman, Iceman, and most importantly of all, Big Boob Lady. No, seriously, one of her finishers involves her killing the opponent by flashing her tits. I like it when a game makes me feel good. And Doom makes you feel good. Run around and fucking up demons paired with heavy energetic music is perfect. The game probably feels like you're having sex. Probably. Honestly, I wouldn't even know. I remember finishing the game and I was so sad that the experience was over. I wish I had more of this. If only there was a game just like Doom. This game improves the previous so well that I'm afraid it makes Doom 2016 look like a chump. Mobility and speed is improved. Mick Gordon again hits the spot with the music. More new enemies are added, and you have to think more when approaching these demons. Each demon has their own weaknesses, but you have an arsenal of weapons to choose from, but very limited ammo. A perfect challenge to a great game. Sly II Band of Thieves. Sneak around and beat the shit out of enemies. Explore multiple areas while completing various missions. Progress the story to stop the villains from rebuilding your arch nemesis. It's very cartoony, which is probably why I enjoyed it so much as a kid. The only issue I have with this game is the fucking inverted camera controls. There's no option to change it. Fuck that bullshit. Anyways, great game. Every single Mario game is basically a masterpiece. And ask anyone what's the best Mario game and you will get so many different answers. New Super Mario Bros, Mario Bros 3, Mario Odyssey, Mario Galaxy, and many others. There's no wrong answers since they're all great games. But since I grew up with the Super Nintendo, I had to go with Super Mario World. The world map is unique, so many levels with different branching paths with cool secrets, a star world which leads to a special world, and if you don't want to beat the game like a normal bozo, you can just use the feather, say fuck you, and fly over every single level. It's amazing.
Okay.
Metal Slug is a great run and gun, and Metal Slug 3 is considered to be the best in the series, and rightfully so. The game is hard as fuck, but the pixel sprites is S tier and is really detailed. Every mission has secret paths to explore with different items and enemies. You fight monster crabs, soldiers, zombies, plants, and soon you team up with the soldiers you were killing earlier, go to space, and fuck up aliens. And did I mention this game is fun as hell? Because it's fun as fuck! What? Didn't I say it was on the list? I was obsessed with Mortal Kombat as a kid, owned most of the games, and loved the movie. So obsessed that I wanted to join karate class to fight like a Mortal Kombat character. Then one time I was on the internet, I saw this. What the fuck? For the longest time, I wasn't aware of Mortal Kombat Armageddon. All the characters from previous games were all in one game, and somehow we actually got the game, and I was hooked. I replayed the story mode 7 times. Sometimes I would even beat the whole thing in one sitting. Then I soon realized that the game sucked. The card game was actually the highlight. Red Dead Redemption. Undead Nightmare. I know, the first one's a good game, but I never played it. Instead, I played the zombie version, and it was my first big boy game. Going up to a zombie and shooting its head off made me feel like a badass, and it caused me to have a small phase on wanting to become a cowboy. Rayman Raving Rabbids 2. I didn't know what the fuck this game was, but I didn't care. The rabbits were funny looking and I loved it. The game is just playing mini games as these rabbit characters and it's just fun to play, especially with your friends. This game is just very funky and the rabbits just make you wanna Back on the Xbox 360, there was the Xbox Live Arcade, which allowed Xbox owners to buy so many great arcade and indie games like The Simpsons, and Scott Pilgrim the game. Fuck! But I never actually bought any of these games. I always just browsed and downloaded demos. Shank 2, Alan Wake, Pac-Man, Mini Ninjas, and Dishwasher Dead Samurai? Badass looking hack and slash, blood everywhere, huge ass combos that involve pressing the same button. Okay, the game isn't anything too great, but there's definitely some entertainment value. And the soundtrack is pretty neat. Originally a Java game on the website Danball, Stick Ranger is an action RPG where you control 4 stickmen. They do all the fighting and the only thing you can do is drag the stickmen in and out of danger, and also choose what stats to level up for each stickman. Simple yet addicting gameplay. You can assign them 1 out of the 8 weapon classes and you cannot change their class once chosen. It adds a lot of replay value to see all the weapon effects and what works and what doesn't work. The best part of all is that it's now available for iOS devices for free, so you can play it right now on the go. The only issue I have with this game is the lack of sound effects and music. The game is quiet as hell and there's just absolutely no noise whatsoever. And I also have to mention the difficulty curve. The game gets hard as hell for absolutely no reason. But other than that, still a great game. I definitely recommend this game. Quick story, I cannot stress this enough on how stupid I was as a kid. When I owned the Wii, I was looking through the settings and I saw the format option. My dumbass thought this was some sort of update, so I formatted the console not being aware on what I've just done. Then, once when I realized what happened, my heart dropped and I cried like a bitch. My Mario Kart Wii save data I worked so hard on was gone forever. Then 10 minutes passed and I went back to playing Mario Kart Wii like nothing happened, because Mario Kart Wii was the shit. I had fun playing it for the second time, unlocking all the vehicles and characters. Such a great Mario Kart game. I was a little bitch back then, and some dumbass thought it would be a good idea to play this game at night. It starts off pretty calm. A few hostile villagers attack, but it's okay. You got a pistol. Then you enter the village. Suddenly, it's not okay. Immediately, you're bombarded by a swarm of villagers. Then shit escalates even more. A dude with a chainsaw chases you, but it's okay. You have a pistol and a shotgun. This game is amazing and I love it so much. I played through the story mode at least 22 times in total and currently completing pro difficulty. If I played through it that many times, that says something. It means that I have issues. Yay! Rayman Origins starts off by making this sick ass beat with your buddies. But then some old bitch starts hating. It's an amazing platformer with a goofy ass art style. I laughed a lot as a kid when punching the character because they made a stupid ass face. The levels are beautiful and the music is wacky, but it's really good. And sometimes the game gets challenging, especially the red tooth levels. People that love platformers should definitely play this game. Demepan, they came by waves. This had to be on my list. I already made a whole ass video on it, but personally I don't think it's too great and it doesn't do the game justice. A really great RPG that most people won't even get to experience since it's exclusive to the 3DS, a console which isn't even being sold anymore. Go around to different places in the real world to catch Demepan. Every Demepan is unique with different names, face, height, color, and abilities. Use them in your party to go to dungeons to fight monsters, find items, and eventually fight a boss. The soundtrack is so underrated, really good and catchy, and it's a damn shame I didn't talk about that in my original Demepan video. I beg anyone that has a 3DS to at least try this game out, and hopefully sometime in the future Demepan will be more accessible to play, hoping for that Switch release.
Brains.
Plants vs Zombies. Place down the plant and protect your house. I forgot how huge this game was, but that simple gameplay is so addicting. So many plants you can use against a huge variety of zombies that go after you. Easily a certified hood classic, and who can forget that Sunflower song? Minecraft is just a timeless piece of art. It's a decade old and still is a huge game. It really brought out my imagination while playing this game as a kid. I never had access to online multiplayer, so I would make these worlds and sort of make my own little story. I was a hero protecting villagers in my fort against a monster apocalypse. I made a Slenderman map and pretended he was chasing me. There was a mine shaft I built and pretended it was haunted by Herobrine. I pretended to be rich and built a tall skyscraper made out of wool. It's the coolest shit I've ever built, and if you think otherwise, fuck you! There was a certain point in my life where I had trouble enjoying games. It was a devastating realization since it's something that I've always enjoyed doing. But every time I played a game, I just thought, this is a waste of time. What's the point? How is this going to make my life better? I could do something more productive with this time, but I'm just sitting here playing a game. I had this toxic mindset where I felt like I had to do something productive with my free time, and that mindset ruined everything for me. I couldn't enjoy not just games, but shows and movies. Then the name Rhythm Haven stuck out, a game for the DS. I didn't know what it was other than it's just a rhythm game, but I tried it in a desperate attempt to entertain myself. And for the first time in a while, I started enjoying myself with the game, a rhythm game where you tap and swipe with the beat of the music. Every minigame is catchy and has their own little stories. The art style is very charming, and I just want to thank Mitsu Terada or Sunku for the amazing experience of the game. Thank you so much for bringing me up at my lowest. You helped me enjoy video games once again.